Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on Survival Challenge. So we have just got another load of timber that we're taking to the sawmill, and it was a rather cold night because we had to sleep in the tractor to try stay warm. So we have moved on another month, so we are in September, and that's typical. I'd lose a log just before we got to the sell point. But right, let's go and sell this. So that's another £8,842. We're going to go back, and what I think we're going to do is we're going to go and try put another field in. So we'll create another field so that's ready to be drilled, and then we want to go get another load of timber because I'd like to, if we can, one, put a tent down, and two, get the Isaria Scout, because then we can soil sample, and in doing that we can then go and drill we can then go get to put fertilizer on and put lime and all that sort of thing on. And in the previous episode, I think I mentioned about the weeder being on the seeder. We ploughed, so we didn't need anything, so we don't need any herbicide or anything, which that's something that completely slipped my mind. And you can see on the left our beautiful outfield. So it's just where we want to go and build, well, I say build, go create our next field, because this flat ground here is perfect for building on. So I don't know whether it may be worth, do we put in a little field in here? Because if you look at that woodland, we own a bit of that woodland, so we can start taking down out of there, and then that can slowly expand. Or do we go where it's a bit hillier up here, but then in doing so we're then moving away from where our current field is. I would like to where it's the sort of where the original homestead was or is when you come on this game. That's where I'd like to build the farm, and it would be quite nice, I reckon, to have fields down a sort of a driveway. But that is all very much in due course. Let's take this out. This is where I think we'll do, because it's only a little field then, and we don't want to spend too much time having to mess on with ploughing. So let's go allow create field like so. So we'll drop this in. We'll give plenty of space for a margin, because what I would like to, well, how I envision this series going is later on down the line we'll have the likes of hedges planted, we'll have barbed wire fences planted, all that sort of thing. If we can achieve that, then I will be very, very, very happy with how this series has progressed. But whether that happens or not is a completely different matter. I've also just reminded myself that I want to have a tractor upgrade. So we're keeping the tractor, but what I would like to do is if we go on to small tractors, this is our tractor here, wheel setup. I want to get to that's free. Okay, if we want narrow twins, rear standard. Okay, well that's what we're going to be doing, because I would like to get four-wheel drive, because when we were drilling in the previous episode it just seemed to be struggling a lot, and I can only put that down to it being just two-wheel drive. So we're not going to just go to the store to do that, because that would be a complete waste of time. Well, not a waste of time, but the drive there and back, we might as well take a load with us. So if we have a venture down here to go get some, well, to be fair, we're up here, so we might as well take some trees out from here. So let's have a look, which ones should we target so we can get, these are very good trees, are these. I think, is it a Manchurian? Something like that, Manchurian, so we'll take that one off. The only thing that I have noticed with these is we may have some leaves hanging, yeah. We've got a random branch floating in midair, but anyways, so we'll have that one down. Let's take this one, this Scotch pine. Which, to be fair, there's not a lot in that. let's take down this lodge pole. And we do have on this series, which I'm very interested. If I hit the tractor, I may have just hit the tractor. It's that, or I'm on the trailer. Okay, I've hit the tractor and trailer out of the way. Why is that hung up in the air? Oh, it's on the bush there. I do have in this series, there is a mod which I believe it lets the trees grow. So the smaller trees will actually become into bigger trees. So it would make sense to leave stuff like, this is where there won't be any small trees. There's one back there. So leave that one. Leave that one, because that will come on another growth stage. This obviously won't, because that's just a cherry tree, so that just wants getting rid of. But yeah, so I'm interested to see what that mod's going to turn out like. We do have as well, these stumps are going to have to come out. So we try focusing set areas, then we shouldn't lose sort of where we are with eradicating the stumps, because we may get a very unpleasant surprise later on in the series if we're ploughing up some of the woodland and then next thing we come to a very drastic stop. Right, let's get these sorted out. We will get them loaded into the trailer and then we can make our way up there. We can then upgrade the tractor to 4-wheel drive, which, like I said, I didn't know that was completely free. So we'll get that upgraded and then we can look at getting that field drilled. And hopefully, we're taking this load up now, we may even be able to buy the Isaria Scout, which then would mean that we can start fertilizing and liming, which would be very, very beneficial. This trailer's about perfect for us. I think doing a load in this, it's just enough for a time lapse. You know, to cut the trees down, sort them all up, then load it all up. I think, yeah, that's amples. Although I haven't loaded that very well. There's a big gap there where we could have got one more in, or we possibly could have got one more in on the top. But anyways, we're looking, I think, for about £18,000 total. So let's put this in and see what we get. If this is slightly short, we do have that birch there which may tip us over the edge. We don't need it at all. That's £11,080, which brings us up to 21,971. So let's go to miscellaneous. Let's go Isaria Scout. We'll buy that for £17,000. And at least now we don't. The only thing we need to pay for is the soil samples, which I think that's absolutely fine. But we'll leave this trailer off here. So let's just drop that there for now. It doesn't seem to have any brakes on it. Let's gather this up, because I'm hoping whilst the oat field is still relatively young, we should be able to drive on it and put fertilizer on as we need to, without causing any damage. But right, let's now go and upgrade our tyres. It's a 4-wheel drive. Let's customise that for £0. We're now going to have to put everything back on to that. Let's turn the engine on. And let's make our way back to the farm and see what sort of soil we have. I will be very interested to see how it goes drilling in there, because obviously that field as well, it's slightly more undulating than what this one is, and our field hasn't registered yet. So let's guess maybe about there. Hopefully we put the first one in and we get our black patch. It will tell us. Right, there we go. That's going to make life very handy for us now. So let's go up over here. Will we get it in 2 samples? About there. I think we may do, you know. 2 samples and we'll get the whole field. Oh, is that the whole field or not? Do we risk doing? So there's the corner there. Not done. I'm going to say that's that corner there. So we'll leave it at that. Now let's make our way over here. I don't know whether to risk it by going straight into the middle of the field and just hoping that we accomplish it. But if we go off where the plough is, that's obviously registering as a vehicle and the plough is not in the field. So if we go like that, maybe let's give that a go, see if we can get the whole field in. We should do. I can't see why we wouldn't do. Yes, by the looks of it we do. So right, to send the soil samples off, we press Y. Yes, please. And I think it's as soon as it takes money out your account there that our samples are in. So here we go. What have we got? Let's go precision farming. So, right, okay. We've got silty clay and loam. So this is now making me think that if we were to go over here, build our farm over here, which is what I'd like to do, we're going to be going into all the loam, which is going to be the best farmland for us to go into. Does it say? It should give us a rough indication. So that's the 2% silty clays down here, or at least we now know that. What is... Oh, it's not going to tell us any of these. I thought it would tell us, but obviously not. Well, right. At least we know that this field is decent. So we will go, we'll get this drilled and rolled, which won't take too long. And then we'll have to go get our trailer back, because what is... Whilst we're here, we'll have a look at a sprayer. Here we go, sprayers. So we can actually afford one. So what's that one? That is, so that would be bog standard 6.5 meters for 2,500. If we go for the 11 meters, that's, well, that makes sense. £3,000 for that, and then that'll leave us with 1,800. Which 1,800 will that get us? Liquid fertilizer. So what's our 100 litres? If we were to go for one of these, yes, we'd have to go for one of them. So let's get this drilled. We'll get it rolled as well. We now need to think actually what to put into it. Do we put canola in just for a slightly different crop? But we'll get it drilled and rolled, and then we'll have a look at buying ourselves a sprayer. Then we'll have to go and buy some smaller cans of liquid fertilizer. But oilseed radish, grass, peas, spinach, wheat, barley, oats. Let's put some canola in. No, let's put some barley in, because we may, by that point, by the time it comes to harvesting the barley, we may have chickens. So, and obviously barley is a higher yielding crop than what wheat is. So that's the only reason why I'm thinking of going down that route. The tyres are making some sort of a difference, but I would have expected it to be a bit bigger. Well, that's lovely to see that we now have 2 fields in and growing. Which, if we have a look on the precision farming map, so the pH doesn't actually look that bad, but the nitrogen does. So let's now go. We're going to go for this one with the bigger boom. The decals we will... Can we get rid of the lizard? No, so just got to go standard. That's... Yeah, leave it like that. Let's buy that. £3,000. So we've got £1,800 left. So if we go to here, liquid fertilizer. If I went 4 for 400 litres, let's go. No, we want 4 because that's all we can hold. So let's buy 4 liquid fertilizer. We can then, we'll go drop the rolls back off. I do need to sort this mess out here as well. And I'm hoping that that will, we may have to go sell just one more load of trees, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to buy ourselves at least a tent or something here so that we can have a bit of a better night's sleep. Whoever did the groundworks around these buildings wants sacking, I know that. But right, let's go get our sprayer on, which is here. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take our trailer back, so I don't like doing trips to the shop, you know, or trips anywhere really where we're not doing something else at the same time. So, but unfortunately, I think that's how it's just going to have to be. So let's reverse into here. But this is making our life so much easier, being able to do like so this, you know, fill the tank up, not having an extra 1600 litres left spare, like money wise. So right, with that 400 litres, let's now make it back to the farm and let's see if this does do any difference to our fields, because obviously we've got no sensors on the front of the tractor. Up by the wing mirrors, there's no sensors there, and obviously we don't have, or I don't believe you can get a front link, so we couldn't even put something on there to help us. Oops, I've just run over a deer. So let's unfold this. And 11 metres should give us, and we're going to do this in one pass, aren't we? Just straight up, up down. Right, let's turn that on. Let's whiz down here. Okay, so it is showing on the mini map and at the top, it is showing that we are able to put fertilizer down, which that's a very, very good sign. But yeah, like I said, it's just going to be a straight go down here and then turn around. I wonder how much the barley will take. Well, that is the oats almost done. Just get to the end here. Turn that off and we'll just go around here quickly. We'll just get our fertilizer thrown onto the barley field, if we can call, well, we can, of course we can call it, but it's that small. Which, to be fair, it's not a bad thing having small fields to begin with, because you've got to start somewhere. But also, for a combine, you think oats, is it 4 months it takes for the oats to grow? So in that time, we need to be able to buy ourselves a decent combine, or we will have to be going for, I'll see if I show you, something like one of these. So that's a grain harvester, multi-fruit, vegetable, sugar beet, potatoes, and then yeah, we've got to here, where for £10,000 we can get, okay, that's pretty good, a 4 metre header. What's this one? That doesn't say the header size, but I'm going to say that's definitely smaller than 4 metres. This one, combinations, 4.2. What's that? 6.5. So £22,500, and we've got a 4.2 metre header. Yeah, so I would say, so of these two, I want to aim for. What's that? 1.9. Oh, that can actually hold more. So I think it could be that Massey Ferguson's the way to go. And obviously, we've got all these ones in here. But if we can, 1,500 quid. What's the working width of that? 1.4. I'm going to think that Massey Ferguson is where we want to be heading combine wise, because that will make life very easy for us. Right, I'll just finish this spraying, which if you look on the mini-map, it is taking a lot more fertiliser on the barley than it was the oats, because the oats was orange, whilst the barley is a lovely shade of green. And the final piece. That's strange. Does it just not need much fertiliser in that middle bit? I don't know. But anyways, right, let's have now a look at either storage or a house. So if we go farmhouses, so for 26 quid we can get ourselves a nice camo tent. For £50 we can get that. Oh, that's a Highland fish expansion, but there's unfortunately it's just us, so we don't need to be able to accommodate 2 people. I think for 26 quid, let's put this down. Let's try avoid where there are any stumps. I think we can get that down in here, personally. So let's put that there. And let's just go and have a look. We will have to go get our trailer, sort out all of these loose bits of timber here, there and everywhere. We do have a stone coming through. We can get rid of that fairly easy, I would suggest. But yeah, that's perfect now. Somewhere nice for us to go and sleep. And yeah, the reason why I chose this one over the other one was 1, obviously cheaper, but 2, you can go inside. Well, to be able to go inside something like that, I think it's better, in my opinion. So I've just nipped round and collected a few of the ifits bits of timber here, there and everywhere. So obviously the ones that were across the road up by the tent, and the ones that were down here where I took the first load of logs at the beginning of this episode. So we'll go get these sold. We'll go sell, there's that birch still outside the store, so we'll get that sold. And then I think we can call it a do at that, because we've done a fair amount. Obviously we've upgraded the tractor, we've now got an actual home of sorts, we've got a new field in, we've done all the soil sampling and whatnot, so I think that's been a very, very productive episode. I've had a look at sheds. So currently, as it stands, the cheapest shed that we can put in, I think is it 8,000? Let me just put that on cruise control. Yeah, 8,000, but I'm not too much of a fan of that one. So I use that one a lot when I've played. Before I started doing recording, I use that one a lot. So I think one like that one up there would be a better option. And we can start to store everything in inside, so they shouldn't rust. Alright, I'll just grab hold of that so we can take it all as a oneer. I was going to just drop the trailer off to begin with, but then I thought that seems a very silly idea. But right, let's get all this into the trigger and let's see what we can get for it all. £2,000 would be very nice. 3,856. So I think that's a brilliant way to end the episode. We're on £5,000 and we are slowly and short but surely always improving. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you've all liked and enjoyed the video, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.